with Coach Petrino was like surreal. It's like, cause you hear so much about it, like a myth, a legend, and then he there, like he just pop up, and he like move quiet, so he always sneaking up on you.
Sure.
Welcome, everybody, to the Coaches in the Mouth pod. This is Coach Jeff Williams, along with Coach Bray Cook. The Mouth Brent Bender is on assignment. On assignment. It's always on assignment. Coach Cook, got really excited about our guest. We got running back, Arkansas Razorback running back, Rashod Dubinion here with us. Rashod, welcome to the show, man.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Talk to us a little bit, so we want to get your story out there, and we watched you run the ball, but we know you're from Georgia. You grew up in Elmwood, Georgia. Had a lot of success in high school. Talk to us a little bit about your high school time. Won a couple state championships. Talk to us a little bit about that time, and then we're going to get into your recruiting process about how you chose Arkansas. But your stats in high school were unbelievable. Doing some research. Talk to us. Played for Coach John Adams there, and Coach Smith also, and we'll get in that a little bit also. Talk to us a little bit about your time in Elmwood and growing up outside of Atlanta.
Yes, sir. See, growing up out there, it was like interesting. It's a lot of different types of people, and you learn a lot about them as you interact with them. And like the people at Cedar Grove High School, they took care of me. Like they helped me in school, outside of school, with my family and stuff like that. So I respect them people like from the bottom of my heart.
Well, talk to us a little bit about how your coaches influenced you. You had teachers there, and obviously they saw some talent in you, and great family situation, all that deal. Talk to us a little bit about your coaches and teachers there at your high school, and that really kept you on the straight and narrow, on the right path, and success that you've had so far.
Yeah, the coaches like Coach John Adams, Coach Pat, and Coach Jimmy Smith, and like all the other coaches there. Like, they stayed on me, like, come to practice. Where you at? Because they'll come pick me up 8, 9 in the morning in the summer. Make sure I don't miss workouts, things of that nature. Like, every day, though. They on me every day. Oh, you got to get out of here.
Is that something, like, you keep in contact with those coaches? I mean, how often do you talk to those guys back home?
Like, probably, like, once a month at least. I try to talk to them pretty often, like, stay connected. Stay, like, grounded. Make sure I never forget where I came from.
Of course. That's such a big part of the high school recruiting process and for college athletes. I talked to my offensive line coach last night. I was with you and got a text from my O-line coach, and I played for him, 13, 14 years ago.
This guy cost me a state championship, okay? His junior year, we get in the finals. And so, he likes to bring it up every show, even though he's talking about his old O-line coach. But go ahead, Bray.
Yeah. What are some of those things you mentioned? Calling you, getting you to practice. What do you think would have happened had those coaches not helped you out in those areas?
I believe I would have been a statistic, like everybody.
Yeah.
It was like either you do or you don't.
Uh-huh.
That's how I see it. Like football, the way like they telling you, like everybody's showing you, God's showing you, the coach is showing you, your family showing you.
Mm-hmm.
Play football, and you might have a chance.
Sure.
Well, tell me this, what other interest did you have? I mean, obviously football's a big part of it. Everybody, you're coming in, you've had great success, a highly recruited player, and, you got aspirations like everybody else to go to the NFL. But what's the fallback? I mean, what other interest that you have? NFL's a short life a lot of times, but, it's a short period. Long-term goals, what are you looking at down the road? What other things would you like to get involved in?
Yeah, I like to get involved with coaching. Like, I like giving back to the community, touching kids. Like, let them know, like, I'm just a kid that chased my dream. Like, this whole time, y'all just been watching me chase my dream. And I just want to help them chase theirs.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. That makes me excited about guys like you being, Bray's coach, and I've coached for years. Guys like you talking about getting back into it and your expertise in your field and that part of it be really beneficial for young people. Well, let's get into a little ball, okay? You were a highly recruited guy. I mean, highly recruited guy. Georgia, looking at all these people that were recruiting you. Obviously, Coach Jimmy Smith, who is former running back coach here, coached you in high school for a couple of years. You had a tight connection. What brought you to Arkansas? I mean, our University of Arkansas is a great university, but you had you could have went anywhere you wanted to go in the South. And talk to us a little bit the process of the recruiting process, coming to the University of Arkansas, and what drew you here.
Yeah, the recruiting process was interesting, but I was really like kind of antisocial. So I ain't like people lying to me. Like I felt like every coach called and saying the same thing. Like I would just beat my ears up. but you know, I trusted Coach Jimmy. I trusted Coach Sam Pittman. When I came out here, it was like the most peace I ever had. Because growing up, I felt like I was surrounded by like chaos, and I was thriving in chaos. So I was like, if I get around peace, let's see how far I can go.
That's awesome. And Bray, you talk to us about being at peace, and you just hit that about when you make that decision. Both of you guys, highly recruited guys, talk to us a little bit about the peace.
I understand exactly, what you're saying. When you're able to, decide on a place that feels like home, all that noise, everything just kind of silences out, and you're able to focus on, like you said, chasing your dream.
Yes, sir.
And being able to just focus on going to work every day. So yeah, I hear that, and that's definitely cool to know that still is what Fayetteville feels like to athletes like you.
Well, talk to us. You come in. You were an early entry. Came in early and enrolled early. Went through spring practice. Boom. Get a lot of opportunity. You played a lot your freshman year. Played in 13 games. End up starting in the Liberty Bowl, and then of course last year had another good year. And you're kind of the guy. Which that room. It's by committee. You got to have one or at least two, maybe three in the SEC.
Yes, sir.
With the pound you guys talk to us a little about that process. What have you learned over the last 2 years as a running back coming out of high school? If you could go back right now and talk to Rashod 2 years ago, what advice would you give him as a football player coming in as a running back in the SEC?
I tell myself, like, you on the right track, but, like, limit the distractions. Like, anything that ain't going towards the goal, it really don't matter. Like, nothing really matter but the goal at this point. And I'll tell myself, like, lock in on school, even though you don't like it. Like, your grades matter a lot. Like, they matter the most. Like, more than your ability. Football is God-given. Like, that's a God-given talent. But school, that's something you got to do, even if you don't want to.
Exactly. Who's somebody you try to pattern yourself after? I mean, we all got them, as players and things. You look at the guy in the NFL. Is it certain individual you like their game and try to steal a little bit something from them and a little bit something from another guy? Who's some of those guys?
Yeah, with football, I look at guys like Alvin Kamara, probably like A-Chain. And I just started watching like highlights in football because I've been playing since 5. So it ain't many guys I look after, but like those guys, I like those guys.
Cool deal, Bray.
What? So we talked about being in the running back room. What's it like in the era of NIL, right? And I know Guiding Light, the agency that you're got a deal or partnership with, does a great job of kind of navigating that area. What's it like being in a locker room, knowing that these deals are kind of happening, or what's some insight that you guys talk about in the locker room about the NIL stuff?
Yeah, like the locker room, it get interesting because it's like I really be excited for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you did that. Oh, you got to deal with them. So it's like, and then you learn new ways to get deals, like how you network yourself, like how you market yourself. And you can learn stuff from anybody, like the older guys, the younger guys. Like it's cool. I ain't gonna lie. NIL probably like one of the best, worst things that happen to college football.
So you enjoy the process and you enjoy seeing other guys succeed and things
Yes,
like
sir.
that. What I guess, and we're new to this, and we aren't in that locker room, but how does that partnership work with an NIL sponsor? I mean, do you go to a business? Do they find you?
Either or. Like you can reach out or they can reach out to you. It's like based off who you know. So it's like your best bet is to go to college and network. Like
Sure.
I'm gonna lie to you. Or like it's try to shake as many hands as you can. You never know who knows who.
Sure. And I guess, so like, are you just reaching out to local businesses? I mean, how do you approach somebody say, hey, I want to do something with you?
Well, me personally, I got a team, so my team will reach out.
Okay.
And most people, or some athletes don't, so they'll reach out themselves, or businesses will reach out to them. But it's like, it's just a cycle.
It's so interesting.
Like, yeah.
Does that work? And I know the Edge Collective, and that's kind of, is it a little separate? Like they kind of work with you.
Yes,
is it the same or is it separate? I mean,
separate from what?
From, I guess, you making your own deals with your team.
Oh, yeah, that's separate.
That's separate.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So every university has their own little collective. Are there collectives like coming after athletes and saying, hey, if you come to this school, we can offer this NIL? Is that part of the conversation? No.
I don't know.
No. The NIL with the transfer portal combination is just,
it's like free agency.
It is, isn't it? It is. So do you see that in the locker room? I mean, do you see like?
Yeah, you gonna see all that.
Yeah.
It's like some people get like the ball in our court,
yeah,
but it's in the coach's court at the same time because like it's tricky.
Yeah,
like it's like an understood business. It's like they put something out there and don't nobody know how to control it.
Now, does that whole aspect of college football take away from the fact that you are still here chasing a dream, and that's to be the best, running back you can be, and maybe give yourself an opportunity to play at the next level?
Yeah, not for me, because I feel like that's all about mindset. It's like what you here for. So after NIL, like what comes first? It's about priorities to me. It's like you got God, family, football, NIL maybe. Because like without the first three, NIL wouldn't even be here. Like it wouldn't matter.
Sure. That's great. Yeah.
Well, talk to us a little bit about this, and we'll kind of get back to football a little bit. Coach Jimmy Smith left, and then Coach Kobe Smith came in, very familiar with Coach Petrino's offense and that part of it. Big major transition right in the middle of spring ball. Tell me about Coach Kobe Smith coming in and, accepted him and what he brought to the table in a short period of time.
Yeah, from the jump, he said, like, we work together, and, like, I respect that. And he a man with kids, and he take care of his kids. So, I respected him from the jump. And, like, he never, like, gave me a reason not to. Like, so it's, like, either you can be mad that your coach left or you can, like, try to accept the new guy. And, like, that's what I did. Like, use my brain. I was like, we going to work together, and we going to figure something out, even though, like, I might feel a way. Like, I got the right to. But, like, do it matter really?
Yeah. What's it like, I guess, working with him and Coach Petrino?
Coach Petrino, working with Coach Petrino is like surreal. It's like, because you hear so much about it, like a myth, a legend, and then he there. Like, he just pop up. And he, like, move quiet, so he always sneaking up on you.
Sure.
So it's like love out there, though, for real. Like,
yeah. I think the combination between Petrino and Pittman is unique and special. What does Pittman bring to, I know he works with the offensive line, and I know he's been coaching them, kind of specifically in Indian things with Coach Mateos. What does Coach Pittman bring to the running back room? How does he work well with y'all?
Yeah, he try to give us energy, and, like, he let us know that we can do whatever we want to do. Like, once we get the ball, he said, it's your game after you get the ball. Like, can't nobody stop you but you. He just keep us confident. Like, I always try to build us up more than he tear us down.
Yeah, and that's so important, too, I think, from the entire offensive line. How do you build relationships with those big guys up front?
Yeah, I make sure I let them know after every play. Yeah, I'm screaming. Good O-line, good y'all boys keep going. I try to connect with them outside of football. Like, if I see them or something, what's up? Like, make sure it's, like, genuine. Like, I like genuine. Everything genuine.
Well, it has to be. And that's one thing people talk about the O-line, having their relationships with each other. But at the end of the day, it is a running back O-line combination to move the ball. And and it's a very special, unique, I think, relationship in football.
Well, talk to me a little bit about this, is the passing game a little bit. Coach Trino, he likes to get 5 guys out there and, obviously protection checks and things like that. Is that going to expand your game a little bit more, being able to get out in the backfield? I always thought he liked screens, but he'll run those running backs down the field vertically a lot. Loves those. He likes to wheel those guys a lot. So talk to me a little bit about that, how that can help you get to the next level and what that's going to bring to your game.
Yeah, and these days in the NFL, they looking for like a 3-down back, a 4-down back. So that's big these days in this game. So like, and then it's not only helping me, it's helping everybody else on the field. It's like the receivers creating space. I can bring a linebacker like out the box and let somebody else sit down in that window. Like it get fun.
Yeah, you can toss it down and make 3. You catch one for 3 and go for 25. Man, they used to tell those quarterbacks, those running backs are your friend, buddy. Just drive it down there to them. In that part of. Well, talk to us about your plans this summer. Obviously, you're going to working out. You're going to stay here, going to summer school. Talk to our viewers a little bit what your summer looks like.
Yeah, my summer is going to look like work, like a whole lot of work. So I go back home in a few weeks to my little cousin graduation. Then I'm right back here, like working, just working. And working as in football and school and like my mental. Cause like over the past year, I kind of like been through a lot and I don't really talk about it because like I rather tell people like how to get through stuff instead of like drowning in pain and like beating yourself up, basically. Like I try not to beat myself up more than I already do.
How do you handle that? I mean, with the load of everything that comes outside of football, on top of all the expectations and all the excitement of actually being in your seat, like what do you do differently to protect yourself in those situations?
Yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, I just got surrounded by a great group of people out here in Fayetteville because I don't know how I did it. Like I've been trying to figure it out. Like it was days that like I just didn't know like is this even for me anymore?
Yeah. But
like I stayed strong. I stayed grounded. Like every day I woke up, I knew I had a chance. Like so I took advantage of it. And it's this lady named Miss Christine down at the Jones Center, and like. I go in there and that's like my therapy session because I don't really like talking to people and I just let everything out like every other day. And that's how I did it. Like, I did that and then I continued like chasing my dream at the same time.
And people, I guess, in the sport world, they don't think about that side of it. I mean, you're still a young man with, all the problems that come with being, a young man in society today.
Yes,
and you got to add that onto playing, which for me, playing in the weight room, that was my release. Going in there and you can kind of box all that out, and that's what I love about football is once you step onto that field, it's just football. It's just you and the 10 guys on the field with you. But yeah, so I appreciate that aspect of it for sure. What is one question we were talking about earlier? What's a place that we might find you in Fayetteville besides campus, besides the Jones Center? Where do you hang out at? Where are you at?
That's a good question. Because I barely leave my house, but when I do, you could probably catch me at somewhere like Chicken Heads, somewhere like Walmart. I love Walmart. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Walmart. Yeah. Really? What do you like about Walmart?
They got everything in there.
Well, they do have that.
Which Walmart is your home base? Where you go?
Center.
Super Center?
Yeah, right. MLK.
Bet.
And you can probably catch me at like Popeyes in the drive-thru though. I only go through the drive-thru.
You going spicy or regular chicken sandwich?
Spicy. Yeah.
Have you had that spicy chicken sandwich?
I have. I'm not a spicy guy, but the chicken sandwich is unbelievable.
I gotta say, I love that place too. The place is dangerous. What was that place we went to for barbecue the other day? Central
Barbecue.
Yeah, Central's. Have you been to Central Barbecue?
No, I don't think so.
That place is powerful, and of course, Wrights. I don't know. Do you do a lot of stuff with Wrights? Do you work with them?
Not really.
I know. I guess
not yet.
Yeah, not yet. You hear that, Wrights?
Get you hooked up with Wrights, man.
Well, we need to do that for sure.
Exactly.
We also need to get hooked up with Wrights.
Exactly.
Barbecue. Yeah, man. Well, we one of the things we're looking forward to is obviously everything going on with basketball. How does that affect y'all? Do y'all follow that stuff with Calipari and kind of the team that he's building right now?
Yeah, I follow it as much as I can. So like, I like who he recruiting, and I think they're gonna be like very good next year. I follow that part of it. I don't really care about like politics side of it.
Sure. It brings energy to the program, and I think everyone kind of benefits. All programs benefit from it, and it's interesting to see how it'll help the football program moving forward, if it will.
Exactly. What are your goals for next year? I mean, individually, obviously, you got team goals, and y'all talk about those things. What's your individual goals for next year?
Individual?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to be the best me I can possibly be. And with that being said, I hold myself accountable to a high standard. Like, I make sure every day I get up and do something that's going to help me better my future, like put me ahead of the game. Because I'm only 20 years old, and there's a lot of people not doing a lot of stuff that I do. And I know that because I watch them. I pay attention to everything and try to be better. Just try to be better.
Well, cool deal. You're a leader in that running back room. That running back room, you got to work with each other because the pounding you guys take week in, week out, and some Saturdays one guy's going to feel a little bit better than the other. How do you work with that running back room as a leader, where everybody's staying positive, everybody's working together, because that thing goes sideways in a hurry. And but most running back rooms I've ever been around, those guys are pretty
tight.
Close. And talk to me about your leadership role and what you're taking on this year.
Yeah, we come in every day. I try to come in every day with a positive attitude, no matter what I went through the day before or what I went through 10 minutes before. You come in the room with a positive attitude, make sure everybody knows it's love, and call me for anything, literally, call me, just one call away, and y'all, and they the same way. I can call on them for anything, and that's what make it like that. We stick together, no matter what.
During the games, I mean, obviously you're communicating with each other. Hey, did you see this? Or this guy, I think this is open, and that part of it. Talk to our viewers how important that is. Coach could sit up there in the box, and you can talk to him. You the video and all that part, but you coming off the field telling another guy, hey, look for the cutback right here. It's opening up, seeing it out of your eyes. Talk to our viewers how big that is during game time.
Yeah, that's I can give y'all an example from the spring with Jaquinton Jackson. He's a great running back. But, he'll come off the field. He'll be like, hey, Doug, what you seen? And I'll be like, I seen such and such, but what you seen, though? Because I'm not running the ball, because that's important, too. A lot of people try to run the ball without the ball in their hands, and that don't work.
Yeah.
So, so it'd be like, yeah, I seen this, but what was your tracks and what was your steps on the play? So what you seen, too? And, we just piggyback off each other, and it helped, tremendously, because, it slowed the game down. And as much as you can slow the game down, the faster you play. The faster you play.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. What part of your game you think you need to improve on? Is it, catching the ball? Is it protection? Is it, reading, the three technique? Whatever it is. What part of your game that what you've worked on this off season and you want to improve on coming into this season?
Yeah, if you watched last season, then you know that I probably got frustrated pass blocking. So this year, I just trusted my eyes, because that's what it was a lot of the time. My eyes and my feet. Feet first. Well, eyes first, then feet. And then once I did that, it got way better. And then, attacking. Attack the line of scrimmage, you give yourself a better chance. Even if you miss, the ball might be gone. So you'll be all right.
Well, talk to our audience about coming from high school, because I think that's one of the biggest deals. And, Bray, you probably agree with me, as a running back coming from high school to college, because a lot of times high school the coach calls protection and you kind of sort it out here or there, and that guy can rush real good and we're going to take care of him and that kind of deal. But sliding the line, and now you're over here in that part of it, getting that communication. You're sitting in Gainesville, Florida, and they're going crazy and getting that communication. Talk to our audience, and especially young running backs, about how difficult transition that is coming from high school to college on the protection end of it.
Yeah, because in high school, I probably protected 5 times in 4 years. Because, like, in high school, everybody know, like, one of the best players get the ball. And I was one of the best players. So I ain't really have to protect much. And the transition part of it was, like, really learning the game, turning back into a student of the game. Because, like, everybody think they know everything until you don't know. So once I turned back into a student, it became easy to me. So I tell a high schooler, like, don't never think you know it all. Like, listen to the older guys because, like, you ain't been there yet.
And the experience part of it is a big deal, right?
You know, one of the things that people don't talk a whole lot about is running backs in protection, because obviously you're talking about the O-line. And at the end of the day, the old linemen are typically sliding, and typically they got some help. But if you're one-on-one as a running back and your blitzer's coming, it's mano-a-mano, it's you versus him, and he's got a head start.
Yes, sir.
How do you handle? I guess what's your thought process when, all right, I got him and he's obviously coming. And what's going through your mind in that situation?
Beat him.
Sure.
Yeah, like it ain't too much to it. At that point, it's man on man. Like, who gonna be the bigger man? Yeah. And you can't be the smaller man.
That's fair and straightforward. Yeah.
Exactly.
Come on. And you know, you think about man on man, and you're not going to be that smaller man. A big part of that is the weight room.
Yeah.
How do you appreciate? How do you work with your strength coaches? I mean, what's your atmosphere and culture in our weight room here at Arkansas?
Yeah, it's like it's love. They keep everybody involved. Like, it's not no drop off from like nowhere. No matter where you at on the depth chart, like it's the same intensity with everybody. Like, and I love Coach Souders and his crew for that. Cause like it be times like, you know, like everybody have their days and you don't feel like being there, man. You just like, come on, coach. But they keep you pushing, man. Like, why you can't do that? You was just doing this last week. It'd be stuff like that. And you're like, oh yeah, you're right, coach. I got to get back on it.
That's so big to have guys like that who are constantly just pushing you forward.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's days where it is tough, yeah, for sure. And what's just as interesting to me about that is the nutrition side of it. So, I mean, I know you all get fed, and I know you all get the protein and everything. Take us through what you put into your body to take you that next step forward.
Yeah, lately I've been on like more carbs to get more energy, and I done lost a lot of weight. I'm trying to gain something back. So I've been on like at first I was on a lean diet because I felt like I gained too much weight last year. So that looked like a lot of fruit, a little protein, and a little carbs. Well, like more protein, a little carbs. And now this one is looking like more carbs, fruit still, a lot of protein, like double up the plate basically, like get the weight back, but stay active. Like you gotta stay, like everything matters though. Like your nutrition and the weight room will all reflect like the field. Like everything, it's a triangle basically. Like if you're not doing one, it's gonna show because you're gonna have like small tissue injuries and stuff like that. And then like once you stop doing 2 of them, you're gonna have a big injury or you might be more fatigued. Like everything matters.
You know, a big part of that injury prevention too, or I guess rehab is a training room. And I know y'all have a phenomenal facility down there. What's that training room like?
Yeah. See, I had a meniscus tear and I had surgery. After that, I was in a rehab from probably the day after surgery till Christmas, to the Christmas break. So I went home for Christmas break. So that's like a month straight every day from 10 to probably 2 o'clock. You in there.
Really?
Yeah. And it be full. Like a rehab room, like it's love in there too. Mr. Dave and his team, they take care of us. Like they making sure we get better. Like even if like you come in there playing, acting like you hurt, they go, like, you ain't hurt for real. Your feelings hurt. Like
oh man.
That's such a big part of just the whole game and injury prevention. And those cold hot tubs are massive down there.
Yeah.
Y'all spend time in those things?
A lot of time. Like, after every practice in the spring, the coach is yelling, go get in the cold tub. Go get in the cold tub. Take care of your body. Like your sanctuary.
Well, you talked about your meniscus coming off that. But, I mean, anytime you have, surgery, getting back into it, was it a mental thing trying to get back into it, or you didn't have any problems?
At first it was.
Was there?
Because I would just beat myself up. It was a mental thing with everything you know, at that point. But then, like, the first day of pads, I'm like, oh, I still got it. I'm like, oh.
Well, that's what most people say. You know, once you get out there and get hit, everything gets back to normal after a while and everything.
Is there a mental side of that rehab after an injury? I mean, what's going through your mind those days during rehab, and what's that like?
For most days, it's like, I just got to get better. Because you, like, during that time, you see all your teammates, and, like, it can get depressing. Because you see them working, perfecting their craft, and there's stuff you can't do that you was just doing. So it'd be like, stay in here. I know I'm going to get better. The only thing I got to do is what they tell me. Because it don't work. I done seen it work for other people. Why wouldn't it work for me?
Sure. That's, my knee being torn. I was a GA at the time. I was a coach when I got hurt. So I made it my entire career and I got hurt as a coach. And it's definitely tough to, be able to do so many things that are, like you said, God-given, ability and talent. And then all of a sudden it's gone in a second. I mean, it's definitely a wake-up call. And for you to bounce back definitely says a whole lot about who you are as an athlete and what you've been able to accomplish for sure.
Well, good deal. Well, Bray?
Well, yeah, so this podcast thing is kind of taking off a little bit. We're getting a little bit of sponsorships, getting some things going, some logos. And one of the things that we've been given is the All-American Steakhouse in Springdale has given $100 to you. Told them you were coming on today. So here's dinner.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, All-American Steakhouse, man, it's a great spot. I went there yesterday for the first time.
Yeah, man, the place is awesome.
He's been there a couple
I go
times.
there all the time, man.
What you get when you go there?
Well, I always go with the sirloin. I had a burger yesterday. Sirloin, any of their steaks are outstanding. What was that dip?
The crab dip. I went crab dip and prime rib. Very powerful.
Oh, crab dip. And I'm not a crab guy, but I'm just telling you, it was unbelievable, man. It was unbelievable. Cheese fries, whole deal. Got my cholesterol up, gained about 10 pounds.
Yeah, we're not on that same diet plan.
No, we're not.
We're on that opposite.
Yeah.
We should be on the opposite.
Our workout plan's probably not the same a little bit. It's probably a little backwards than yours and that part of it. But, well, Rashod, we appreciate you coming on, man. And hey, want to have you on a little bit some during the season. And good luck to you. Enjoy watching you play.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. And thank y'all for having me. Well, and I hope the podcast get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, we
yes,
do
sir.
too. Yes, sir. Well, for Coach Jeff Williams and Coach, we'll see you next time.